Hi, it's Melanie Salvatore-August, and today we're going to explore the optimal way to sit to meditate or to do pranayama, breath direction and life force direction in the body, or just the optimal way to sit to align your energies to get more clarity and calmness in your emotional state and also in your mind. So there is a reciprocal relationship between what happens in the body and what happens with the breath and the mind or your thoughts. So if your breath is fast-paced and kind of shallow, your mind will have a tendency to be rather anxious or chattery. And the opposite, the quality of the breath, that when it's very slow and smooth and the inhale is equal to exhale, that you'll find that the quality of your mind will be a little bit slower, more peaceful. And when your mind is more peaceful, your body will be more relaxed. So there is this continuous reciprocal relationship between body, mind, and breath. Now today we're going to explore how, when we balance the body, right, when we bring the body, the right and left side of the body, the front and back of the body in even balance when we sit, and also when we align the spine in its natural curves, how it'll be a lot more comfortable and easy to sit in quiet contemplation or meditation or do pranayama. And again, simply just aligning the body the way that we're about to explore will help you feel calmer and more peaceful. So it's great even if you're not going to meditate or do yogic breathing. So the first way we're going to sit and align the body is on a chair. A simple, regular, hard seat chair, not a couch that you would sink into, but something that you would sit more solidly. And you may, depending on the depth of the chair and the length of your legs and body, you may want to put either a bolster or a larger pillow in the back of the chair. So when you sit on the chair, you take your sitting bones, the bottom of the pelvis, your butt bones, straight down, and they're evenly placed on the seat of the chair while you're able to lean back and keep your spine in its natural curves. At the same time, while you're setting up the pelvis, align your feet hip-width distance apart. So that's, again, we're moving from the pelvis, from the front of the pelvis, knees directly over the heels, and the feet hip-width and parallel to each other, which means they're not turned out, they're not turned in, they're straight ahead. So we start here by balancing the body, the right side and the left side, in an equal balance, and then balancing the weight on the lower part of the pelvis, the ischial tuberosities, or the sitting bones. Now when you align on the sitting bones, you'll then want to grow the spine all the way up where your shoulders are over the pelvis and your head is right over your shoulders. So your natural curves of the spine are intact. Now when the natural curves of the spine are intact, it's a lot easier just to sit for a longer period of time as well as stand for a longer period of time because your weight is evenly distributed the way you were built to hold it. Now bring your elbows in line with your shoulders and allow your forearms to rest evenly and easily on your legs. Now for whatever reason, if you feel like your arms are just hanging, you can take a blanket or a pillow, place it across your lap so you have a little lift. Yeah, and then again, the elbows are right underneath the shoulders and the forearms and the hands relaxed and rested. Okay, so the second way to sit, and another option to align the body, which may be more what you think of when you think of a meditation seat, is a cross-legged seat. So when you sit cross-legged, I would like for you to sit so your pelvis is upright and higher than your knees. Okay, so your knees are going to be dropping down below your pelvis. So I recommend sitting on a bolster or a yoga block if you have one, something that's going to lift you up. Even some solid blankets, you're going to lift and stack the blankets high enough that your pelvis is higher than your knees. And then as you begin to release the thighs down, you'll want the knees to hit evenly to the floor. So basically you're building a stable triangle. one knee down, the other knee down, and then both sitting bones of the pelvis, which we'll consider one point, solidly rooted down onto whatever you're sitting on. Okay, so a very solid structure, 3 distinct points. And if you have one knee or even both knees lifted slightly, it's usually one. I'd like for you to add a blanket or a thin pillow, something to lift the floor up so then you can root down into those 3 very distinct stable points. And then lift up from the pelvis. And if your pelvis is tucked down and back, you'll want to sit up even higher, so get a higher seat. So then the natural curves of the spine are fully intact. And that bottom low back curve isn't pulled out of shape by the posterior tilt or the dropping back of the tailbone. Okay, so you're going to sit up on the pelvis. And then once again, align your shoulders right over the pelvis and your head right over the shoulders. So you're just even and aligned, balanced right and left. And then bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Elbows right underneath your shoulders. And again, if the legs or the drop of the forearms seems or feels too far down, you have to kind of hold the forearms, then I would add another blanket or pillow right on top of the thighs that you could allow the forearms to release on. Okay, so that's a cross-legged seat. And again, you want a very stable 3 points with your pelvis upright, not tucked down and back. Now, ideally, when you sit either in the chair, in cross-legged, or in the additional seat I'm about to show you, you're going to stay longer than a few minutes. So you want to make sure that you feel very comfortable and efficient. You could sustain this. You could sustain this seat for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. And the third and final seat that I would like to share with you is on the floor, seated in a kneeling position. Again, pelvis higher than knees. So you could use, again, a yoga block. You could use a meditation bench if you have one. You could use a bolster, right? A thick bolster. But whatever's going to give your pelvis a lift, so there's not too much pull on the knees, and that your pelvis is higher than the knees. Now it's going to be the same concept of the 3 points. The pelvis, the sitting bones, the ischial tuberosities rooted down evenly, so they weight evenly on the pelvis shifted slightly forward, and then the bottom of the knees rooted to the earth evenly. Okay? And then aligning from that position, shoulders directly over pelvis, head directly over shoulders. And then again, bringing the elbows aligned. So elbows right underneath the shoulders, and releasing the forearms. Once again, if it feels like there's a distance, you kind of have to reach down with your forearms, you want to add either a blanket or a pillow or even another bolster if you have one, if you have a plethora of yoga props. That's the way you would build that up. So then you can sustainably sit and breathe and quiet the body. So when you balance and align your physical body, specifically the pelvis and the spine, and you sit in a position that is sustainable for more than 3 minutes, right? You will start to use your physical body to begin to calm your mind and then begin to calm your breath. And in further tutorials or videos, I'll share with you different ways that you can calm the breath. And ideally, this is really practical and very simple. That choose one of these positions that you can do anytime during the day, right? That it's not that you have to go specially to do your yoga practice, but that you can align your body and bring your body into union and balance throughout the day. So practical tools to integrate throughout the day, okay? Let me know how it's going. Yeah, if you have questions or you have comments or there's something specific that you want to see, contact me at MelanieSalvatore-August.com, or you could contact me on Facebook, Melanie Salvatore-August Yoga, Facebook.com. So I hope your seat is balanced, and I hope to hear from you, and thank you for watching.